Hello. This activity is about doing numbers and getting a sense of the size of numbers. And we're going to start with ages 4. We're going to go through 5, 6, and 7-ish. Wherever your learner is, at whatever level they're at, let them enter at their level and go up. Even what we do for the early years is useful. It's useful for you to know. It's useful for you to work out the size of numbers. Ready? Because numbers, the size of numbers matters. It's all about the size. It's all about the size of numbers. Now, I have got, I'm going to show you my visualizer. I love my visualizer right here. See it there? That's my visualizer. Usually you can't see it. It's right here and it shines down. It doesn't shine down. It photographs what I'm doing. So you can see what I'm doing here. And there it is. I'm going to share it with you so you can see it. And what we're going to do is we've got different ways of doing this. One is you print out the activity pack, and in there is a sheet like this. You put it on a piece of cardboard, and then you get a paper clip, and you open out the paper clips so that you've got this shape here. Then you put the paper clip on the spinner, and all you need is a pencil. You can use a pin if you want, and then you go bing, and you can get the number, and that number is what we're going to be using. Now you can also use a D10, which is a dice that has 10 faces, and whatever number comes out on top, that's the number you work with. But if you're very little, then this method works super well. Get 10 cards. If you don't know your numbers yet, or you're not sure of your numbers yet, you're still practicing, you can close your eyes, pick out a number without looking, and then, ooh, that's 0. We're not going to start with that one. We'll leave that one out. We'll go back to that in a minute. Oh, that's a, whoa, but that way around. That's a 9. How big is that number? What does that mean? And on the back, you have the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can compare that with other numbers. Let's say we've got 1, the number 1. How many dots has that got? Whoopsie, 9 dots. So I found this lovely cardboard. It was just in a box that arrived in the post, and it's white on both faces, but you can always stick paper, just stick paper nicely and thoroughly onto cardboard, but it wants to have separation, because if you can see the dot coming through, then it's not as good. So this way and then you can only work with the dots depending on the age of your learner, or you can work with the dots and then look at what the number looks like, see what the digit looks like, but you've got what it means. So 9 means 9 things. It has a size, it has a value of 9. So it could be 9 dots, it could be 9 fish, it could be 9 dogs, it could be 9 sausages. It just means 9. Okay, and then the 0, how many dots do you think that means? Ooh, no dots. Interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this, because this is for early years. We're going to use the bucket of numbers, and I'm going to look at the activity to make sure I get it right. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the youngest, and we're going to make 2 squares, 2 boxes, 2 rectangles. I'm going to pull out, we're not going to look, going to pull out 1 number. Now, what are we going to do? We want to make this the biggest number possible. So let's see. If you've got some younger learners, you can just draw in dots. If they know then their symbols for the number, they can draw the symbol in. So what do you reckon? To make the biggest number, it's going to, well, we can even start. You don't even have to start with 2. You can start with 1. If you've got a really young learner, you can take out 2 cards. And which is the bigger number? Which has more dots? Just start with that. Which has more dots? Which is the biggest number? Is 7 bigger than 4, or is 4 bigger than 7? You can put it on a number line, So if you have a number line 0 to 10, you can put them on the number line. You can see how many dots. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 dots there. 5, 6, 7. There's 7 dots there. Count the dots. So you can start with that, just making, and that's something you want to be doing all the time, every day, until we're super familiar with that. This is not something you do once. You can do this over and over and over again. You know how much you like to do things again and again and again. And then we're going to make a 2-digit number. So once you can go over 10, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, you can make a special box where you only have 2 numbers. A special box we can only pick 0 or 1, in which case you write 0 or 1 here to make sure that you're not going to go over 20. And then you can start going, you can add 2 into that. So you can go to 20. And first of all, you pick out the number for the big number. So I'm going to know which one I'm going to do. It's going to be a 1. So we draw 1 in there. And then we can draw from all of them, and we can do this a few different times. Ooh, that's 6 dots. So if you might want to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots in there, and then say, okay, that's 16, and do that lots of different times and see which is the biggest number. So was that number, is 16 bigger than 18? Is 16 bigger than 14? And just compare them and do the dots. Do the dots. You can count the dots. So maybe both. Maybe you do the 1 and do a second one that's the dots. So that's 1 dot, and then that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. And just play that game. And once we're ready to go all the way, you can go to 20, then you can go to 30s. And once we're ready to go all the way to up to 99, again, you can just dip in for both numbers. Here we go. Dip in for both numbers, and oh my goodness, it's a 9. So to make the biggest number, do we put the 9 here or here? That's a good question. Whichever one you put it in, you can then decide. So that's that one. You decide, okay, we're going to decide we're going to put it here. You might leave out the 9 now, but you could put the 9 back in. You can play it either way. And I'm going to choose a different one. 1. So if we'd chosen it to go the other way, if we'd chosen 91, if we'd put the 9 in the other one, which of those 2 numbers is bigger? And if you want to actually work out which number is bigger and actually know which number is bigger, what you do, it's quite simple. Whoops, so you get the right screen so that I can see what you're seeing. Make sure you can see everything. Yes. What you do is you count to 10. Let's say you could use paper clips. You make piles of 10 paper clips. You can use little bowls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10. To make 19, you put 10 there and once you've got 10, you put it in a little bowl. I've got lots of little plastic bowls that we put things in there. That's 10. And then you have containers that hold 10. So for 19, we want 10. And is it another 10? How many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 19. For this one, you'd have 9 of these and 1 of those. So then you can have them all there. Use beans or little pebbles or marbles, or beans are great. You can just get a whole bag of beans and just keep reusing them. You can paint them. You can be bean counters, literally. And then you can see the difference in size between 91 and 19. That might help you decide next time. And this is something to play again and again and again and again until you really have a feel for the difference between 91 and 19, or what other numbers might we pick out. Let's see what other numbers. Let's have another go. Oh, here we go. I'm going to choose a different number than 9 now. 5. There you go. Now, should we put 5 here or here? Which is going to give us a bigger number. How likely is it that we pull out a number that's bigger than 5 or a number that's smaller than 5? We can do it that way and decide where to put it. And then we're looking at how likely it is. But we can also do it another way. We can take out 2 numbers. And now that we've got the numbers, you can have them that way or that way. You can now move them around. Go, well, is 56 a bigger number than 65? Which way around should we put it? Should we put the 6 there and the 5 there? Or the 5 there and the 6 there? Which is going to give us a bit of bigger number? We can, oopsie. Now, by the time you're looking at 56, you don't want to need to be counting dots by the time you're looking at 56, except for maybe if you want to say each one of these is 10. So if you decide to put that there in the tens column, you'll be going 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Well, actually for that, it is a valid use of the dots because you're then counting in tens. So that would be 60. And then these are units. So that's each one of these is worth 1. So that number is 5 ones. So that's 5. And this is 6 tens. So that's 65, or which is bigger, 65 or 50 is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 6. So which is bigger, 56 or 65? Get the beans out, get your little units out and separate them out in groups of 10. Where's my, I've got little bowls and I put them in little bowls, like little plastic bowls so nothing gets damaged. And each one, or you can arrange them any way you want, little envelopes, little pouches, each one is 10. So that gets you familiar with, and then you could even have packets of 100s so that you're then when you move on to 100s, so that you really get a feel for the magnitude of it, the fiveness of 5 and how 6 tens is different to 5 tens. It's not 5, it's not 10, it's 50 and 60, whereas this is 5 and 6. So this is what this is all about, okay? And so play that and play it again, and again, and make up your own games and let us know. Send us in comments and pictures and ideas of what you've actually got up to. And let's see, and then the next one is, well, so that we've done 2 digits. Now we're going to go to 3 digits. Let's get another piece of paper out. Again, if you need pouches of 100, or you can just make symbols, make your own little design to represent 100. But you do exactly the same thing for 3 digits. Now you don't need to use you need to use the cards, although the cards are useful. Whoopsie, what am I doing? Forget that. Magnificent mistake. That's not what we want at all. We want this because this is one number. It's not 3 separate numbers. It's one number. That's in the units. That's the tens. That's the hundreds. Now we're pulling out 3 numbers. The great thing about pulling them out from now we've got to decide to get the largest number. Where are we going to put it? Well, we can get a number that's bigger than 5. Let's maybe put it in the middle. Oh, 0. Well, that's not going to give us the largest number. Whoops, make it the digit. And we just hope that we get a bigger number now. Oh, a 1. Oh my goodness. Could we have got a bigger number? What would the biggest number have been? And then another game you can play is make it the smallest possible number. Which way round would that go? And you can make a special number. You can say, well, I want to make it 500, or I want to make it the number closest to 672. You can do, and you can put them all back right in the number. So you can decide. So we decided we're going to put the 5 there, and then the 0 there, and then the 1 there. So you've written it. So every time you can put the numbers straight back in and have all the numbers to choose from. Whereas the way I was doing it there, you no longer had the 5 or the 1. Well, the 1 was the last one. But you can just put them all back in and play it again. And again, keep playing that, and having different challenges. You decide on the challenges, and then finally, not finally, you can go as large as you like, but you can go to 1,000, 1, 10, 100, 1,000. Again, you're looking at and the highest number. You can play it as a competitive, or you can collaborate. You can discuss it and decide which number to put where. The other way you can do it is for all of these, you can just take out 1, 2, I'm not looking, 3, 4 numbers, and then decide which way to order them in order to get the biggest number. So you've got, these are the 4 numbers you've got, and you decide which way you should order them in order to make that the biggest number. And then of course, in all of these, we name them, that's 150. Name them, that would be 1,100, you know, if it was, let's say we had that, we ended up with that number, the 5,927. Is that the biggest number? And what with these numbers, now we've chosen them, you can aim for another number. You say, well, let's see if we can get the number that's closest to 2,000. What would be the number that, using these digits, would give us a number that's closest to 2,000, for example? And you can play many games with just 4 digits like that and come up with different ideas of what to do with them. Then for lower primary, what we're going to do is we're going to do some addition. So once you're actually adding, we're going to do 2-column addition. So we've got hundreds, tens, and units. I'm going to write 1, 10, 100. And we got 1, 2, boing, boing. And then we've got 3 here. Boing, boing. And that's a plus. So we can target, well, first of all, you can target 50, in which case you don't need. So you just have 3 rows of 2. First of all, you can target 50. So same thing, take out a digit, decide where to put it to get as close to 50 as possible. So that's the first one, put it back. So we had a 5, where we're going to put it? Well, if we put 1 as 50, we could put it there. Let's put it there and see what happens. And then we want everything else needs to be super small numbers. We could have put it somewhere else. So let's see what we've got. 3. Well, we don't want it there because it's going to be quite a big number. So let's put it there, say. And let's see what number we get next. Oh, 2, that's good. How likely is it that we get a number that's less than 2? It's not very likely. So I'm going to put 2 there. And then one more number. Oh, it's a good thing we put the 2 there. Now add those together and see what the number is and how close is that to 50. You could do that several times, or you could do it competitively. You can get the number closest to 50. And then you can also take those numbers and say, what way round could we have put them to get a number that's closer to 50? So you can play all of those analyticals, or you can also take 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers out and say, okay, how are we going to arrange these to get a number closest to 50? If we put them into a grid like this, which way should we put them to get a number that's closest to 50? And I can see a number that's very close to 50. Remembering that number could be more than 50 or less than 50. Or you could make the rule it has to be less than 50 or has to be more than 50, which is the one that's closest. You make your own rules. And then the next one is for the answer to be nearest to 100. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. We're going to add them. Units, tens, hundreds. 1, 10, 100. I'm going to make sure you can see what I think you can see. Yes, it's a bit tilted. Okay, and here we go. So you can play it as put it each one at a time. So let's see, we've got 3. Where we're going to put it? We're going to put 3. We want to make 100. So how likely is it that we're going to get a number, quite a large number, to get as close to 100? Let's put it here and let's hope that we get 2 larger numbers, but we don't want them too big either. 4. I'm going to put that one there. Let's see, what's the next one? Oh, a 1. Well, that has to go here. and then really hope. How likely is it we're going to get a larger number than 1? Well, it's quite high because there's only 1 and 0 that's less than 1, but we need to get to 100, so we have to hope for a large number, and we go, oh yay, ooh, oh dear, we got a 9, but now we've gone over the top. We've got quite a lot more than 100 there. So if you play several times, how can you get closest to 100? But also, again, take these away. Can you take those 4 numbers and get a number that is actually super close to 100 using those 4 numbers? What would you have done with them? You could also take 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers, and with those 4 numbers, work out how to place them in order to get a number that's closest to 100. So there you are. And I can see a number that's very close to 100 there with those 4 I just pulled out. So those are the games. Thank you for joining us. If you do like these lives, please do share them. Please tell other people about the group Making Maths Fun for Kids of All Ages. And if you like YouTube, then we've got our YouTube channels, Maths Toys and Bubbly Maths. Please do subscribe to those. And if you've got friends who aren't on Facebook, then please tell them about the YouTube channels. And let's see if anybody, oh, I didn't do the sharing, so I'm not going to look. If there are any comments, I'll see them later. Thank you very much for joining us. And tonight we'll have another activity which will tell you about, so tonight I'll tell you about what's happening tomorrow. And then we'll play the same time again tomorrow with a different game. Thank you. Bye-bye. There we go. Got to find it. There we go. Bye-bye.